Shalom, that means hello, goodbye, and peace in Israel. From the time of Moses, the Jewish people have been wandering the deserts in search of a place of the Holy Land. They searched and fought for many years to find an area of land of their own. It wasn't until May 14, 1948, when the Jews proclaimed the State of Israel, after Adolf Hitler slaughtered 6 million innocent Jews. Israel became an official state with land in southeastern Asia shared between both the Jewish and Arab people. Israel is one of the most beautiful places on the earth. Israel is such a unique place, which you will be able to see in the video. This video will sum up what makes Israel so special in 60 seconds.
Despite its small size, Israel possesses several remarkable geographical features. Starting in the far northeast of the country is a hilly farming region known as Galilee. It is the wettest part of the country and has a fairly mild climate, although snow occasionally falls here in winter. This is where the Jordan River, Israel's main source of water, flows into the country from its headwaters in the mountains to the north in Lebanon. After passing through northern Galilee, the Jordan River enters a large freshwater lake called the Sea of Galilee, where, according to the New Testament of the Bible, Christ performed miracles 2,000 years ago. Today, Israel's largest water distribution project takes fresh water from the Sea of Galilee and transfers it to the highly populated central region of the country through a system of large pipes and canals. At the southern end.
Now that you have briefly become familiar with the wonders of Israel, let's move on to Israel's geography. You know that Israel is about the same size as the U.S. state of New Jersey and twice the size of neighboring Lebanon. The modern state of Israel is located in the southwestern Asia, along the eastern end of the Mediterranean Sea on land rich with religious history. However, this area does not include the territories of West Bank and Gaza. Israel claims an area of 20,770 square kilometers. A major effect of its location explores with the Muslims and Arabs because it is located on the Holy Land. In addition to Israel being geographically located on the Holy Land, Israel's capital, Jerusalem, is commonly referred to as the Holy City. Did you know that Jerusalem is not only the holy capital city for the Jews, but also for the Muslims and Christians? Jerusalem is known as the Holy City because it is significant in many religious traditions of Abrahamic languages, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Because of this, it is called the Holy City. Many biblical events have occurred there. Jerusalem is situated on the ridge of 2,500 feet high that lies west of the Dead Sea and Jordan River. Jerusalem is a religious, educational, administrative place and a market center. Jerusalem is one of the biggest tourism sites and is known for its houses and hotels, which are the city's major industries. They manufacture cut and polished diamonds, plastics, clothing, shoes, electronic printing, and more high-tech products. Jerusalem is divided by the geographical locations in the east and the west of the capital. The eastern part of Jerusalem is the Old City, which is an area built on two hills surrounded by walls which are further split into four quarters. The Wall of Haran in the east is a Muslim sacred place. The western wall is a place for Jews to come worship. The new city extends west and southwest of the Old City and is the site of several educational institutions and other governmental buildings. On December 14, 1949, Jerusalem became the capital of Israel. This occurred shortly after the Israeli flag was adopted. The flag of Israel was most recently adopted on November 12, 1948. Shortly after, it became an official state in May of 1948. The Israeli flag is white with two blue horizontal stripes, and in the center of the flag is a blue six-pointed Star of David. The colors are significant because they represent the Jewish prayer shawl, talit, which is white and bluish strand of thread in the fringes of the seat. The color blue is designed to remind the Jewish people to observe the commandments. Lastly, the Star of David has never been uniquely Jewish, but has become universally accepted as a symbol of Judaism. The Israeli flag was also a sign of strength and hope to unite the people during the wars. After World War I, the area of Israel became under the British control, which was the beginning of an era called the British Mandate period. However, the genocide of 6 million Jews and suffering of Jews from the Holocaust under Adolf Hitler's dictatorial rule during World War II resulted in mass immigration of Jews in Israel. Jews during this time period were in search of safety and escape from the Holocaust. The British were unable to stop the Jewish people from creating a new life in Israel, which led to the proclamation of Israel to the Jewish people because in its history it belonged to other people in its past. Throughout the history of Israel, the location of the current state of Israel has been the home to many different groups of people, and has its earliest records referring it to an area of Palestine. However, the official beginning of Israel first began when the United Nations voted to divide the area into two independent states, one Arab and one Jewish. In 1948, the date before the British Mandate was due to expire, Israel became a proclaimed state to the Jews, which led to neighboring Arab nations declaring war on the Jewish state. This war was won in 1949. In the following years, wars between Israel and the Arabs occurred in 1956, 1967, 1973, and 1982. The truce between Israel and Egypt didn't last long without being violated. On June 5, 1967, Israel attacked Egypt and its allies, Syria and Jordan. Next, by June 11th, Israel had already scored a decisive victory in the conflict, which coined the name the Six-Day War. From this war, Israel gained the key areas including the Sinai Peninsula, the Gaza Strip, the Golan Heights, and the West Bank, including Jordan. Resulting from the wars, Israel and Egypt signed a peace treaty that returned Sinai to Egypt in 1979. Many places have continued to have problems and disagreements with Israel today. The official languages of Israel are Hebrew and Arabic. The Hebrew that is most commonly spoken is very much like what is used originally in the Bible. However, the modern version has undergone a couple of changes over the years. On the other hand, Arabic is used in parliamentary deliberations, in pleadings before the courts, and in dealings with governmental departments, and it is also the language of instruction in schools for Arab children. In addition to Hebrew, many people also speak Yiddish, which is a type of Hebrew. English is required to be taught in all secondary schools along with Hebrew, and it is used often in foreign business and advertising and labeling. Also, postage stamps, coins, and banknotes bear inscriptions in Hebrew, Arabic, and Latin characters. Language also has been a big part of religion in Israel. The land of Israel is a combination of the religions of Judaism and Christianity. The majority of the people living in Israel follow the religion of Judaism. Also, 1/4 of all Jewish people in the world live there. The Jewish people are split into different categories. For instance, most people describe themselves as traditional or secular Jews. In addition, about 7% are Sephardi, ultra-Orthodox, and about 10% are Orthodox. The other 20% of the population, which are mostly Arab Muslims, and the rest Christians and Jews. Religion also plays a huge role in social organization and family life in Israel. In Israel, family is central to life. The number of children in a family varies depending on the family's level of religiosity. For example, secular Jews have around 2 children, modern Orthodox Jews have 4 to 7 children, and ultra-Orthodox families have as many children as that come to them naturally, which can be as much as 8 to 12 children. In Israel, the father is traditionally the head of the family, where in the past men are the breadwinners and women are the homemakers. In ultra-Orthodox families, women are responsible financially for their families, because their husbands spend most of their time studying the Torah. There are many traditions that are part of the family life in Israel. Like many people in the U.S., many Israelis eat 3 meals daily. Breakfast is usually light, and then school children usually have a sandwich for a mid-morning snack called Arshurat Eser, meaning 10 o'clock snack. The main meal is usually in the late afternoon and is also really late. Most Israeli families do not share meals together during the week, but they all gather together on Friday to celebrate Shabbat. In religious homes, Shabbat meals are often filled with words from the Torah and are followed by prayers. Israelis are also kosher, which means that they do not eat pork or ham, and do not eat meat and dairy at the same time. Israel's customs differ from the United States in these ways. Israel is a popular tourist spot because of the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is the lowest place on Earth, and because of its high levels of salt and high density, people who swim in it are able to float. Another thing that makes the Dead Sea so special is that the mud from the Dead Sea is actually very resourceful and can be put on a person's skin to cleanse it.
The Jordan River ends at the Dead Sea, which is the lowest point on the surface of the Earth. It lies 1,200 feet, or 429 meters, below sea level, in territory that is very dry and very hot much of the time. The majority of the Dead Sea is in Palestinian territory and in Jordan, but its southwestern shores are in Israel. The Dead Sea is 9 times saltier than the saltiest ocean. It is so salty, in fact, that swimmers can stay afloat in it for hours with little or no effort. It was not far from here, in 11 remote caves like this one, that hundreds of ancient biblical texts, known as the Dead Sea Scrolls, were discovered between 1947 and 1956. Some of the scrolls date back 5,000 years and are of tremendous historical, religious, and linguistic significance.
The government system in Israel operates a little different than we do in the U.S. For instance, Israel has a president, Reuven Rivlin, but their prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, is the one who leads the government. The country's laws are made by a 120-member Knesset, or parliament. Israel is a democracy, and they vote that they will represent them in the Knesset. There are several different political parties in the Israeli government that work and vote together, which is called a coalition. In Israel, because they do not have a written constitution, the Supreme Court is very powerful. It makes many laws that provides Israelis with basic voting rights and grants a legal voting age at 18. The government also plays a key role in the economy in Israel. The currency in Israel is the new Israeli shekel. In Israel, not many Israelis have jobs in farming anymore because most places in Israel are too dry, even with irrigation. Many people have jobs in tourism, making clothes, machines, and high technology. Israel is also the world's leader in cutting and polishing diamonds. Another major factor in Israel's lifestyle is how the people celebrate the Jewish holidays. The Jewish people follow a different calendar, so the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah, is celebrated in September or October. 10 days after the Jewish New Year is Yom Kippur, which is the holiest of all Jewish holidays. On Yom Kippur, Jews fast from sunset to sunset, and they pray for forgiveness for their sins in the past year. Next, 5 days after Yom Kippur is the festival of Sukkot, when the religious Jews live in makeshift huts covered with palm branches to celebrate the 40 years that the Israelites were wandering the desert. Lastly, many kids' favorite holiday is Hanukkah, which recalls the time when the Jews were able to return to Jerusalem and light the menorah. During these 8 nights, kids are always given presents, extra pocket money, and candies. Many people also love to play with the dreidel and win candy, of course. Israel currently has an unstable relationship with the West. Today, the Palestinian National Authority is working towards funding an independent Palestinian country, especially in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. The U.S. and other European nations have been working together to help Israelis and Palestinians peacefully agree on how to divide the land. But the ongoing violence between the two has made it extremely difficult to come to terms peacefully. The main issues that they are arguing between Jewish settlements in the West Bank and the thought of the building a barrier between Israeli and Palestinian territory, and the major question of what should happen to Palestinian refugees and the status of the city of Israel itself. While trying to solve all of these issues, Israel has undergone many bombings and destruction in the country. Part of what makes Israel so strong is its ability to recover. Today, Israel is still having issues with the Palestinians. In February 2016, several Israelis were slaughtered or stabbed in violent attacks carried out by Palestinians. These stabbing attacks began in October 2015 and have been called the Stabbing Intifada by several news organizations. Tensions between Israelis and the Palestinians have led to the death of 30 Israelis in February 2016. The resulting tensions have also led to the death of over 180 Palestinians. Israel, a country said to be one of the holiest places on earth, has become an ultimately diverse nation of its own throughout time. The Holy Land of Israel has many diverse cultures. This has led to the spread of religion, values, traditions, and beliefs. Israel also has a strong army, which is why it's so resilient after wars. Israel will and continue to be one of the most unique places on earth.